Hello everybody, welcome back to my television review series. Today we'll be discussing Power Season 1. So, television search have been going pretty slow. I'm still on Hulu. I think my subscription is active till the 5th. So I got a week or two left to decide if I want to stay on Hulu. Wasn't really finding anything I wanted to watch. Power, so I decided on this one. It's another crime drama. So you know how we do on this one. These ones, I'll read you the plots, or I'll read you the description of the show from the producers. Then I'll give you my overall impressions and grade. After that, if you've not watched the show and would like to, you're going to want to shut off the videos because there will be spoilers. So we'll be discussing the plot synopsis and character development. Major themes, question mark, no, nothing unique in this one. So, overall, we had, it appears James Ghost St. Patrick has it all, a drop-dead gorgeous wife, a stunning Manhattan penthouse, and the power and success that come with owning the hot new nightclub Truth. But a closer look reveals a man living a double life. When Ghost isn't tending to his Fortune 500 business, he's catering to clients of another operation, a drug empire that serves only the rich and influential. While loyal sidekick Tommy protects the cash cow narcotics venture at all costs, Ghost's new reality is using Truth as more than a front to launder money. It's a way out of the drug game and into a legitimate life with his family, even if everything he loves becomes unknowingly threatened. Power is co-executive produced by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, 50, who also stars, and show creator Courtney Kemp Ogbo, the good wife. So we had 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, 90% of Google users like the show, 81% of Rotten Tomatoes, and 61% on TV Guide. So overall, I thought it was a rather dull crime show. Again, I go for entertainment value when I'm watching a TV show. I just want it to be whatever it says it's going to be. So this one was originally hosted on Starz. I watched it on Hulu. It was originally a Starz original, I believe, and it has 6 seasons. And the first season came out in 2014. So overall, the characterization seemed a little juvenile. Just like James St. Patrick and his right hand, Tommy Egan. They had not a secret handshake, but like the boys from back home handshake type of deal. And so James St. Patrick has another handshake with one of the other players. So the characterizations are a little throughout. Like the hardened drug dealer, they're not bad. It just strikes me as juvenile is how I describe it. So the actual characterizations, the individual characters aren't too bad. The relationships with one another is, to me, it struck me as throughout probably the first 7 episodes, it struck me much more as like a relationship drama with some crime in the background as opposed to a crime drama. Whereas we reviewed Mr. In Between, and these are hour-long episodes. Mr. In Between, I thought the plot moved along well. Like Mayans and Sons of Anarchy, also on Hulu, but I thought hour-long shows, Mr. In Between's 30 minutes, but hour-long shows where I thought the plot actually moved along well. This one reminded me a lot more of season, I think, 3 of Mayans. I liked the last season of Mayans, but the previous season before that was just a lot of relationship drama. So just a lot of relationship drama. Again, when I've watched a lot of crime shows, just anything new, just any sort of novelty of characterization or development of the plot. So you start off, so I'm not into the plot synopsis yet, but my overall grade, I'm going to keep it at a C. I'll give it a C+. I thought there was a little, again, C+, is it just doesn't really do anything for me. It could easily be bumped up into rather entertaining. But the characterization seemed juvenile, nothing really new in any of the characters. I don't think the criminal environment is set up well. Just like who's the major players. You can get James St. Patrick, but again, the other crews that are involved, it's just not clear as like an episode or just like doesn't set up the structure of the enterprise of who's doing what in the show. So I thought the characterization was rather juvenile. In terms of the actual plot development for a crime show, I thought it was really, really slow. I didn't think there was any major plot development at all until about episode 7. This is an 8 episode season, all an hour long. So I thought it was mainly a lot of sex scenes. Like if I want to watch sex, I'm gonna go watch some porn. If I want to watch a crime show, I'm gonna watch something like this. But rather low on the crime. Again, I decided to see the plot develop more so than just like a bunch of violence, and there was very little plot development until about episode 7. So overall, it didn't really do much for me. It could easily be bumped up. Not sure if I'm going to stick with the show simply because of my Hulu subscription. But
just didn't really do much for me, nothing super unique, and that's what I thought as my overall impressions. So if you've not watched the show and would like to, shut off this video here, because now we're discussing the plot. So you open up, and right off the bat, again, James St. Patrick is already and Tommy Egan, they're 50-50 partners on a big drug enterprise. They've been doing this for a while. James is opening up a nightclub, Truth Social, and to launder money and to get out of the game. That's just another trite thing again. We have this big drug dealer trying to get out of the game, and, relationship drama. It's like, okay, just do something different. And then so they open up, the opening scene is they basically, because it says in the description, they cater to the wealthy, but you get very little of the actual drug operations. Like, you have a lot of scenes of them discussing business and stuff, but you don't see them dealing with cocaine. You don't see them doing a lot of, here's our operations for the drug enterprise. So it's really not like, they're criminals, but it's not like a lot of crime scenes. For a crime drama, it's kind of what I'm going for. So there's this one guy who I think the actor was from Mayans. I think he played Manny in the Mayans. So I liked his characterization there. But he's only in here briefly. But just some dude has been hitting James and Tommy's deliveries. And so one dude gets robbed, they interrogate him, he's like, I'm not going to give up my source at all. James kills that guy and goes back to his wife, Tasha St. Patrick. And so they have 3 kids together. Raina St. Patrick has a minor role. The other 2 kids, one's a baby, the other's a son. He has very, very minor appearances. But, so basically, he goes back to his wife, they have a family, and very quickly in episode 1 or 2, James reconnects with his old high school lover, Angela Baldes. And so, they go back from like episode 2 or 1 to like 5. It's basically just like James having a slowly deteriorating his relationship with Tasha. He's always going to the club. Tasha wants him to be more around. So it's just a lot of relationship drama between Tasha and James and Angela. James and Angela develop into a romantic relationship throughout the thing, and they were previous lovers, dated in high school. When then Angela dipped out on James. Tommy's again more of the... James is now opening this nightclub, and his name's Ghost. People don't know who he is. And Tommy Egan's kind of like the 50-50 partner in the whole operation, but he's really running the street stuff. So Tommy Egan is the main white dude in the show. They have another Julio, who I believe is that the dude from Chartered or Manifest, but another actor that I've seen in one of these recent shows that I've reviewed. But so Julio and Tommy are really running the street enforcement stuff. James certainly gets his hand dirty. He's the one that kills the dude in the opening episode. Again, just the overall, you don't see a lot of criminality. They're talking about crime the whole show, but it's really, again, up until episode 7, it's like relationship drama to me. So that's really the major plot development is they don't know who's hitting them. So they have to shut down their distribution routes until they can figure out who's the mole or who's the problem, how they get the locations to hit the deliveries and rob them. James's supplier is Felipe Lobos. And so he's the major cartel influence supplier of all the cocaine. James St. Patrick and Tommy Egan are the major distributors. You have another, again, more gangs and other distributors this is in New York City. So you have Ruiz, and they reference Soldado Nation, which I believe that's Ruiz is the Soldado Nation jefe. But it's not, again, that's what I'm saying, it's not clear as to who's, they say Soldado Nation a lot in Ruiz, and it's just not like, did I miss one line over here where you connect the two? And so then you have there's another fat dude, which I forget his name, again, look up the characters, they don't list them all, classic, and another major player, Rolla. So you have like 4 or 5 distributor players, one major cartel plug. Angela Baldes is the FBI agent, and she's I don't know, has relative seniority. She works under a person named Frankie, who's the FBI lead of this task force trying to find Felipe Lobos. And so they do different things. There's a couple different there's probably 4 or 5 agents in that group working on the thing. Angela Baldes has, at the beginning, she has a romantic relationship with a subordinate officer or a lesser ranking officer. Greg, they just have Greg No. I don't know if that's his actual name. His name is Greg, certainly Greg. But yeah, they have a romantic relationship. It doesn't really play into their professional life too much. One of the other agents notices it throughout once Angela and James start hooking up, Angela distances herself from Greg. Greg's obviously kind of got a sad wiener about that, but they all got a hard on to try to catch Lobos. So really, from episode 1 through episode 6 or 7, that's really the plot development. You have a Latina hit chick that wears, again, another like goofy juvenile type of thing. They just like show her shoes. She's got like these pink shoes, and she's this like Latina hit woman. And so it's just like, again, kind of like a corny production value to me on just like showing the shoes of the chick. And so she kills this fat dude. James sets a meeting to figure out, look everybody in the eyes and sees what's going on. And then the fat dude doesn't show up. There's another major player. Who's Valdez's contact? There's another character I missed, but basically Angela Valdez has a confidential informant, Ronar, Norar. Of course, it's not on the character list, but it's just another Latino dude, and he's part of the Ruiz organization, and he's like throughout the season, trying to help Angela Valdez and Greg find or get information on who Ghost is. So I forget, why don't they have the characters up here? But I'll just have the CI, Angela's CI, I forget his name. And so, I forget exactly what plot I was at, but they have trouble tracking him down. But he gets a drop on this meeting that James sets up. And they end up switching the location at the very last minute. So the confidential informant looks like an idiot, but he's like, the meeting really did happen. The fat dude was killed, like, going to the meeting by the chick in the pink shoes. And then you also have Kanan, who is James St. Patrick's and Tommy Egan's, like, big homie on the block. He is the father of Sean Stark, who is the driver for James. And so when, like, one of the initial episodes when James starts talking to Angela and Tasha's, wants to go be taken home, she, like, masturbates in front of Sean. He's the driver. She just, like, rolls down the window and just starts playing with herself. And so more relationship drama of Tasha, like, coming on to Sean a little bit to try to learn about what James, the ghost, is doing. And nothing really sexual is happening between them. He gets her a present. Tommy Egan dates this girl called Holly, who is one of the dancers at the club. So another couple of just like a lot of sex scenes between Holly and Tommy and James and Angela and Tasha as well. So again, it seems like a relationship drama set against some crime. But that's really the major development. They have to keep paying Lobos, even though their pipeline is shut down for a little bit. But that's really what develops. And then Kanan is in jail, and he's Sean's father. And probably about episode 6 or 7. Well, first, James and Tommy, again, they have more relationship drama about, is James really still in the coke business, or is he trying to, do the true social thing? And again, the big drug dealer trying to get out of the game is the most trite writing line for all crime shows ever. Just like, make interesting shit, make all the crime dudes die. Just more and more plot development. Doesn't have to be violent, but just keep the plot moving. And so, where was I? But so it was James St. Patrick after they kill the fat dude, and they realize they think it was the chick in the pink shoes hits Ruiz after the fat dude. They think it's Ruiz hitting them from Soldado Nation. He gets stabbed up. He lives through that. So then they know it's not Ruiz, but they still kind of wanted to kill Ruiz. They hired Jamaicans to kill him, but this other chick got to him first. And so they consult with Kanan, who's, I guess, again, another, like, kind of a younger black dude, but certainly like one of the major players in the drug game, Rolla. So Kanan's like, yeah, Rolla did hire, like, they were talking to their connects in the criminal world. He's like, yeah, Kanan, who seems to be like a big homie in jail. He's got connects, he's got burners, paying off guards. Doesn't play a major role. He's in probably, 10 scenes over 3 or 4 episodes, but that's 50 Cent. And he tells James that he did have information that Rolla is 100% the dude that was been hitting them. And so James was friends with this dude, pulls up at his house, murks him with a silencer. And then he has like some flashbacks during his runs, kind of like regretting the killing. And then after that scene, probably about episode 7, at the end of episode 7, you realize Kanan is the one hitting Ghost's crew. And so at no point did you thought Kanan and James St. Patrick Ghost were all on good terms. It turned out it's Kanan making a power move against kind of his like own crew or own friends or something. And so that really happens around episode 7. You see the face of the chick with the pink shoes. Kanan wants James to be killed before he gets out of prison. In episode 8, which is the last episode of the season, Kanan does get out. He has his son Sean pick him up, and he's like, don't tell anybody that I'm out. And Kanan wanted Ghost dead by the time he was out. And so you see the chick in the pink shoes. You have a couple attempts. Kanan doesn't want it to be in front of his son Sean, who is James's driver. And so you see a couple attempts of like she's going up to do the hit, and then Sean pulls up to pick him up, and she bails and abort. And so you have the confidential informant. They keep blanking on the name, but he's sending dick pics and having a relationship with Ruiz's 14-year-old daughter. And Ruiz doesn't die. He gets stabbed, but he does not die. So probably shouldn't cross him out. But so after being found out, not even because he's a confidential informant, I don't think they make him for a confidential informant. He's literally sending dick pics to Ruiz's 14-year-old daughter. So Ruiz has Tommy kill the CI. So he's killed in the last episode. You have throughout the season again. James is working again, like trying to start a club or it's like expand his club. So he's talking like the director of the Vogue magazine, trying to get parties, and talking to this other business guy. He gets offered $6 million for the club, but he wants a partnership. So some business developments which aren't super interesting. Again, should take a couple scenes, maybe not an episode that's an hour long. So, Holly and Tommy are dating. Holly steals Tasha's earrings in one thing. So Tasha, Tommy, and James are all like longtime friends. Tommy starts dating Holly from the club and starts bringing Holly into the drug, like she knows exactly what they do, and kind of pulling her in there. So the plot developments that are being set up again are very obvious. Again, Holly's going to be a liability at some point. Tasha and James are going to have to, is James going to hurt Tasha once, they fully break up? And at the end of season 1, they're fully in ready to divorce mode. James is clearly with Angela, and Tasha is clearly, how do I protect myself? My husband's a big drug dealer. I have 3 kids. So Julio's not a bad character. Tommy's not a bad. None of the characters are bad. Just the relationships amongst them is just rather boring. Rainer St. Patrick has a singing audition. She doesn't get the part, and then Tasha bribes or gives a generous donation, then gets the part. And so James and Tasha are on the same page about how to parent their kid. And so just a lot of Josh Contos. He runs the club. We talked about pretty much the other characters up here. And so just again a lot of relationship drama, a lot of business drama, a lot of slow development on the plot when I think it's take a scene or two to move something along as opposed to an episode. Not a lot of crime. The violence, the actual production value is not bad. Just really, really slow plot in comparison with all the other crime shows that I've watched. So again, if they at the absolute end of season 1, James is kind of on the edge of the club and the drug dealing games. Throughout the season, there's a chick overdoses, and that causes bad press. And then at the end, the pink shoes hitman from Kanan tries to shoot James in the club and ends up hitting Holly. So Holly's getting carted off in the ambulance. It's not sure if she's gonna live or die, but the hitman does try to hit James, and James is like, because of the police response, he doesn't catch the girl that tried to shoot him, and the police is like, we're not shutting this down for a while. So James is now like, fully into the drug game. He tells his plug, Felipe Lobos, that Lobos needs him to double the weight. He's like, yeah, bring it, let's go. And so season 2 could absolutely be better. Again, if we could just really, really limit the relationship drama, we break off James St. Patrick, she's fully with Angela. Obviously, that's going to create a plot development of the FBI agent dating the drug dealer that she doesn't know is the drug dealer. Again, just way too much relationship drama. The characterization seemed rather juvenile. That's the word I would use. Not bad, not off-putting, just didn't do anything for me. Not enough crime scenes, not enough like action chasing the bad robbers, the shoot 'em up scenes, the enforcement scenes, and more so just talking business and broken relationships. Whether it's James and Tasha, Tommy and James, Tommy and Holly, just a lot of the relationships are just kind of boring. We have Lakeisha, she's kind of minor roles, and then she's friends with Tasha throughout. And so I thought the writing was just nothing super unique, and the plot was very, very slow. So it certainly could get better. I might stay with season 2, probably look for something else. It really depends on how long I keep my Hulu subscription. So that's really what I thought of Power Season 1. A lot of room for improvement, nothing off-putting, nothing super unique, and rather didn't do anything for me. So thank you for watching my review of Power Season 1, and see you on the next one.